Hi, welcome to Connections. My name is Stacy Levine Lavely, and this is my son, Jagger Lavely. He is the inspiration behind this show. Jagger has autism, and as we started his journey as a young child, I knew nothing about this world, and as he gets older, I learn more and more each and every day on this journey. So I want to take you along on the journey with us. We're going to be talking about resources, we're going to be talking about community, housing, we're talking about jobs, we're going to be talking about therapies, services, inspirational people in this community, and so much more. So we look forward to you joining us on this journey, and we're trying to create unity in the community. So first off, I want to welcome someone who was kind enough to actually have me on her show, because I have a foundation for autism acceptance worldwide, Robin Miller, and she's on Miller Chat. A lot of you might know her from that. She's also been in TV for 20 years. I was actually on the show, I think, before you hit the 20. Mm-hmm. So that was really exciting. She is a mom to EJ, who is sitting next to her. He is a fifth grader, and he's an author. Robin herself is an author. She's a fur baby mommy. Over here we have Woody, and we're going to be talking about him a little bit later as a therapy dog, and she's also a handler for Woody. And I'm just really excited for her and EJ to tell us a little bit about their story. They wrote 4 books together, which is incredible at your age. I'm just so impressed. So I can't wait to hear all about it. Mm-hmm. And just wanted to start with, tell me a little bit about Woody, because he seems to, be...
He's a
therapy dog.
How old is he?
7.
He's a 7-year-old Labrador Retriever mix with anxiety of thunder and lightning.
Oh. A lot of people are like that too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We tried almost anything to try to stop it, but he kept on having it. So he kept a lot of people up, like all of us up all night.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally settled with giving him a medicine in the morning and a medicine at night, and a special one. There's a thunderstorm.
Oh. Now what does he do when it's a thunderstorm? What kind of stuff?
It's barking, trying to get onto people's beds, whining if he can't get his way, and then he tries to get to people. He scratches at doors if they're closed, and a lot of other stuff.
So how did Woody find his way into your family?
He found his way. So he was abandoned from Colorado. That's one of the theories. Denver. Colorado.
Yeah.
Denver's part of Colorado. Yeah. Okay. So
EJ, you sit down here.
So then he found his way to the area where the Shrewsbury High School is,
mm-hmm.
and someone from Warren found him, and they're a really good place where you can adopt dogs. So we stayed there for around 2 weeks until we took him for a test walk, and we knew he was the dog we wanted. So the next day we adopted him.
Oh, that's so nice. Now, what's the name of the organization that helps rescue him? Are they a rescue organization?
Yeah, WARA, Worcester Animal Rescue League.
Okay, yes. Excellent.
And we went to 2 other shelters.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that the people there weren't very nice. Because it was out Metro West, and they would really check you out when you needed references and look you up and down. We went to Worcester Animal Rescue League. They're very down to earth. They're very caring, and they made you feel very comfortable.
Plus they also made you feel like these dogs are having an amazing time there. Where at other shelters you might feel like the dogs are just stuck here until they get adopted, but there it felt like it was almost like they were going to be there as a home.
And so they kind of felt more like a dog or fur kind of family, mm-hmm. as opposed to being just in cages and mm-hmm. not engaging with each other, which is important, I'm assuming, for a therapy dog, mm-hmm. to be able to engage people and things like that, to kind of bring it to the next level. So I'm going to ask you, Robin, can you tell me a little bit more about what is a therapy dog?
Mm-hmm. Well, a therapy dog is, well, let me tell you, he's not a service dog. A service dog is for people and children with disabilities, where they are more like help them with assistance, adult activities of daily living, like pick up something, pick up a phone, alert them if they're getting sick or something like that. And it costs a couple of $1,000s to train them.
Yeah.
A therapy dog doesn't have to go through that training. They are just a dog. They're a dog first, where their job is two things: either to make people smile, okay, if they like the dog, or if they're in a clinical situation, like in a school, their job is to help kids learn reading and writing and doing well on reading, test. Or in a clinical setting, in a counseling setting or group setting, where they're there to just have the person pet them where they feel more relaxed.
Okay.
And it's all research-based. Everything has to be research-based for therapy dogs to prove that they are there with an objective and an outcome.
Okay, so what kind of things would they use to measure those kind of results to see if they would qualify for this type of a situation, or if they'd be a better fit in, a service situation like you were saying?
All right, go ahead.
So they have a test for the dog, and more or less Woody failed coming in because he barked at another dog taking the test, but he passed the test. So the test, I think I know. So they go through with a big dog and a small dog.
The neutral dog.
And a neutral dog. And the dog can't bark at
Right.
the other dog.
That's right.
And why don't you say?
I'll
what
say more.
else?
But you also wanted to know about the test to let them in the classroom, too. Because I can finish that later. Regarding in the classroom, the studies that have been done, they've had kids who have trouble reading and writing for whatever reason, either anxiety or they have a learning disability or autism.
Right.
And they found that having the presence of a dog, that if nobody in the class is allergic or afraid,
Right.
that has to be vetted first.
Absolutely.
So once they get through those barriers, and it has to be obviously a well-behaved therapy dog, can't be a buggy dog. So,
That would be a bad thing.
right. So the dog would come in the classroom, be with the handler for half an hour while the teacher is going over reading or writing stuff, and then they would do it on paper. And they would find after 6 weeks, what they would do is they would do a pre and a post test on how they would do on a reading test or a writing test. And they found for those who had a therapy dog, without even petting the dog, that the presence of a dog helped calm them down and focus where their reading scores and writing scores went up significantly, to say that it was a difference.
Wow.
And also for children with behavior issues too, making them feel calmer. So that's what they do on the education side, and also, for other settings too, like the history of a therapy dog. I was reading yesterday in a book on animal assisted counseling by Cynthia Chandler, that it started in 1792 in England, and it was for people in mental hospitals, because back then they used to just throw away the key. So they would bring in friendly animals. And they found in 1792, by the way, that by petting the dog, it helped make them feel better. So they started to duplicate those studies in England. And then it came to the United States in 1919.
Oh my gosh, so it's been 100 years.
Yeah, it has been. And it was
Wow.
just trying to copy. I mean, it's not always 100% effective. But they found even on a clinical study on a biochemical reaction in your body that when you pet a dog, you produce more oxytocin, which helps you relax. And if somebody's watching you pet the dog and you see them relax or you see the dog happy, you also produce the mirror neuron approach in your brain.
Oh,
But
so
also, don't you get some dopamine out of it?
Well, you want more of the pleasure, of course.
That's dopamine, the happy hormone.
The happy. Happy hormones. So that's a little bit of the history and what they're doing in school, and of course in a clinic setting, a group counseling, or even a disaster. They bring the dogs. If they're vetted first,
Yeah.
not allergic or afraid, and it helps make you feel calmer and happy. And the dog has to be groomed. The rule for a therapy dog: they can't be dirty. They have to be
Okay.
clean. So his grooming bills can be quite expensive. You have to have clean teeth. So for a dog, they're not into brushing their teeth.
They also have to have good nails, I think. Yeah, nails. And they get a bath. And they groom their fur. And that's about it.
For $45, dogs get everything that a woman or a man would die for in a spa.
Doggy day spa, huh?
Yeah.
I like it.
It takes him 3 hours from beginning to end to get groomed.
Now, do you have to do any kind of maintenance as far as, every day? Do you have to help them with, like, say, brushing their teeth or, like, doing their fur or anything like that, like, in between those visits or what have you?
With us, we have to brush his teeth about every day. And we in a bath about once a month, but he gets groomed sometimes twice a day to keep his fur clean. Plus we also brush him because, as you can see, when a dog's scared, a lot of fur comes off.
Oh, so he sheds.
So
Yes.
you want to keep it clean from sheds.
And I learned there's a thing called dry shampoo for
Oh,
dogs.
for dogs?
Yes.
I know we use it, so that only makes sense.
It only makes sense because it can get pretty uncomfortable because when you give them the water, you end up getting the bath when they shake their body.
So therapy dogs are like real dogs.
Yeah, he's still a dog first.
Or should I say untrained dogs?
Yeah, but yeah, the nails I try to get done. If I go out, he and I have gone out to the nursing home, and I always make sure he's extremely clean because people in nursing homes have the compromised immune system.
Absolutely.
I don't want anybody sick. Oh, we went to Sherwood. Remember we went to Sherwood? I got him groomed for that too. You want to talk a little bit about when we went to see the kids at Sherwood? The after-school program?
No.
Okay, we went to the after-school program. It's called Animal Lovers Club. So all the kids
So
were
all
all
we
excited.
did there was we taught them about dogs and therapy dogs and the no of a dog and the yes of a dog, like where you should pet him, like in a no to yes area.
Okay, so what are they? Can you show me?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, yes, 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 no, and then the legs and arms are a no, and if he rolls over, sure on the stomach. And don't try to hug him too tight.
What happened?
What happens?
He growls sometimes, but a soft growl.
Now, how is he, if let's say a person wasn't comfortable around dogs and didn't really know how to act, if they were kind of jittery and jumpy around him, how would he respond?
I think with him, he doesn't really care.
Okay, let him.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really care what the person's just acting like, but if they're gonna come up close to him acting crazy, he'll probably start to growl or something.
Okay.
But if they're like somewhere else, then then he won't really care. It's a pretty calm dog.
Yeah, I mean, unless, like today when I picked him up from daycare, I went in the Price Top and there were two people having a heated argument. And I know, so I always leave him in the car, but I said, okay, I shut the door right away. Because a dog's a dog, they're going to respond. He's still a dog first.
Yeah.
And they do what dogs do, they respond. Yes?
You should just get more into other stuff besides him.
Okay.
We will, don't worry. So why do you have a therapy dog?
Well, it's strange because, we've had dogs, huh? Why do I have a
You've
therapy?
had one dog on your own and a couple when you were a kid.
And a cat.
And a cat. So when she had that first dog on her own, he was a little bit he was really hyper, and I don't think he would have been a good therapy dog, but
No,
Woody is more of a calm dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's more fit for being a therapy dog.
Yeah, it's interesting you ask because my mother, it's been 4 years since my mom died. In the last week of June, while I was at a conference, and my car was dying, I got the call saying she's going to hospice. She had lung cancer, stage 4. And she was in the hospital ER waiting to go to the hospital ER waiting to go to the hospice. And while she was waiting, somebody came with a therapy dog. And I remember when she was talking to me how much she smiled. So I said, oh. So I dedicated to my mom.
Wow.
about, you know, I mean, unfortunately, she died on Saturday, but the point is that I remember how happy she was,
Right,
because
exactly.
she's always an animal lover.
And it
So-
probably helped with that transition over
Yeah.
and
That's
what
where
have
your
you,
genes of
because of his
animal loving
temperament,
comes from.
because he is such a, calm and peaceful. I mean, just here, you would think maybe he would like jump up and start running around or something, and it's wonderful that he's just able to just be in the moment and what have you.
Yeah, we
That's
haven't
amazing.
Gone to hospice yet. We will in a minute. Okay, it's okay. Okay, go ahead, continue, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. So how is he different from an emotional support pet?
With an emotional
You know what they are?
support pet, aren't they the ones that aren't really that trained?
They're not trained at all.
Emotional support pets aren't trained at all. They're just dogs that you can hug and will make you feel better. But with a therapy dog, they have to go through training because they have to go through harder things. Like they might go to a school, they might go to a nursing home. And overall, a therapy dog can be an emotional support dog.
They can
Woody
be,
shows it a lot.
yeah, I mean, for the owner. The problem with the emotional support dogs is that, first of all, you have to get a letter from a counselor or a psychiatrist or doctor
Okay.
saying that you have X condition. The problem, the liability lies is that you're saying that this person should have, now it doesn't have to be a dog, it could be a cat. In terms of therapy animals, they can have a cat, they can have a miniature horse, they can have a rat, they can have a rabbit,
Man,
and of course dogs,
No, that's
and
a
a,
pet.
and a guinea pig.
Okay.
And you're vouching that that animal is going to behave. But a problem is, if you see from the airlines, that
I was going to ask you about
there's
that.
been issues where they're not trained pets.
Okay.
sick.
And Woody is trained to be a therapy animal, and obviously the service dog is.
So could he actually, I mean, in theory, he could fly if, you know,
No.
or
We
no?
don't-
That would just be under a service dog
Yes.
kind of piece.
Right.
And not the
I
emotional
don't
Right.
really
support either.
think you would even be good on a plane.
There are a lot of people too who aren't very good on planes.
Well, the peacock, I thought that was quite.
Yeah, I remember in Florida, was it Florida?
Yeah,
I
the
think that
peacock.
they had it. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. So, but if that gives somebody peace of mind, that's fine. But again, when you're around a lot of people, trying to keep that, in sync is probably not very easy.
Of course.
So where have you guys been so far?
Well,
We've been to a school,
the school.
and nursing homes, and that's about it.
Oh, well, also when we went to the open
couple
house
fairs.
at the vet school.
Oh, okay.
Remember you went to the open house?
Oh yeah, was it when I saw Ben?
Yes, your friend. And we were there to represent Pet Partners. That's my volunteer arm. So, Woody was very well behaved. The other dogs, Woody. But there was a cat there and a rabbit, and Woody got got distracted by the cat.
No, but he really wanted to see the
He
rabbit.
wanted to see the rabbit. And so we were there for 2 hours, and then we were at the diversity thing in April at the school.
I remember seeing you there, and I remember how calm he was, and that sort of surprised me because there were just so many people. There were probably like 400 or 500
Yes.
people in like a gym area that's imagine the size of a basic
Yes.
gym. And he was amazing, and even with like the acoustics being very reverberating and things like that, it could have gone either way, and he was just wonderful. All right, well, I know EJ really wants to get into this book, so we're going to talk a little bit about your book. So tell me about it.
Should I read the back?
Absolutely.
Okay, Woody and his owner start on a wonderful vacation, but twist of fate leaves Woody behind and his family moves without him. Wonderful lady rescues him. Another family in Massachusetts looking for a new dog to add to its family. When the two meet Woody meets TJ. It's magic. Woody will never worry again about being loved.
Aww.
Okay, so we're also getting a second book published, plus a book on another one. What was that thing called?
Meeting Bodie.
Yeah. No, it wasn't meeting Brody. Why did you call it that?
What?
Brody was his dog. You didn't meet Brody.
Because
He
they
was
made
meeting
official.
another.
It's another, but we are getting something published next year with the same publisher called what?
Can we not call it meeting Brody?
No, The Runaway, remember?
But I thought we were. What about that? Can we do a 5-book series now? 'Cause you already got
Okay.
Thunder one.
Not on the air. honey.
Okay, so once upon a time, on a hot summer day in Colorado, 2 dog owners decided to go on a road trip to Massachusetts. Pack your bags, said the tall, burly man with black hair. Pack his dog bones, said the tall, muscular woman with blonde hair.
You want to show the picture?
Cool.
Wagging his tail back and forth at whirlwind speed, Woody, their 40-pound brown dog,
Show the picture.
That looks like you, buddy.
tall woman directed Woody into his black metal crate. As she and the tall man finished packing the van, Woody waited patiently, lying down and wondering when he would be let out of his crate. A half an hour later, what seemed like an eternity to Woody, the tall woman finally opened his crate to walk him to the blue van.
Show the picture. He's in the crate.
Woody jumped into the back seat with his long golden brown legs. The tall woman buckled him down on the soft black cushioned seat. Vroom, vroom. The car engine started, and they were on their way to the East Coast. Woody cocked his head from the seat to look out the window, and he saw white cirrus clouds and an open desert land on the road.
You want to show the picture?
Very nice. Do you want to keep going?
One
Or
more
are you
page.
going to wait for them to buy the books? They know what happens.
Meanwhile, in Shrewsbury,
Probably one more page.
Massachusetts, a family with a beta fish, a mother named Robin, a father named Jim, and an 8-year-old boy named DJ began their search for a dog who needed a loving home. It had been 8 long years since their dog and cat had passed away. Their family was excited about adopting a new dog into their lives. Should we
Nope.
just read to
No,
the
no,
end of it?
no, we don't have time. Just tell them more about the book.
This book is about him and how we found him and how like he was lost and stuff, and that's about it.
So what was the process you guys went through as you were coming up with the whole series, not just this book, but it sounds like you have multiple books coming out.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about
Okay,
how it sort of
so
came about.
So how it came about, we weren't even thinking about it for the first like 6 or 7 months, but then I just thought one day that wouldn't that be an interesting story, and I just started saying all these different things, and Mom wrote them down. We both worked together on it a long time to make different drafts, and my dad looked at them and like helped us see what it would be like, and we finally, after a long time, we finally thought it would be ready, and it was, and now we're working on the 3rd one.
Yeah. Well, the second one is The Runaway.
The 3rd one will be My Fear of Thunder and Lightning. The 4th and 5th one we probably won't figure out yet.
So the Fear of Thunder and Lightning, I have a funny feeling, is about Woody and him trying to
Yeah,
kind of
and
cope with
all-
his
and-
anxiety over
And all
them.
the things we did to get him, to try to get him to calm down during Thunder and Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the thing about dogs, it's not like humans where you could do different therapeutic techniques. A dog his
Oh, I
age.
know what the 4th, 5th
Okay,
book will be about.
just a moment. So, you got to do what you got to do. They're animals.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So
Tell me a little bit more about the process of the actual writing of the book. Did you draw those pictures
Nope.
or?
we got an illustrator.
Yep, got an illustrator to do it because I don't have great illustration skills.
I could draw it.
I'm sure you will. I know you do. You draw really good. So.
Eat your phone.
That's okay. Sit down. So we had somebody illustrate them, and it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Now, with the illustrator, are they going to be illustrating throughout the whole series
Yes.
or
Yeah.
just the one book?
Probably,
The whole series,
yeah,
maybe.
because it'll be the same pictures. Because these are, with this illustration, first of all, it takes a lot of space in terms of the computer
Mhm.
space.
Yep.
And it took a lot of thought. And it looks really good. We've got really positive feedback on this picture. I mean, it really looks really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Absolutely.
don't know what I already thought of what the type of what the pictures will be for the Runaway and Thunder and Lightning and the fourth and fifth one.
Okay. So we like to be creative. We like to write as a family, right?
Yeah, but sometimes sometimes I want to write my own books, but they never really come out right because I have a great idea. It's gonna work, but then I just forget about it after a couple of days.
Well, that happens, and sometimes things, just kind of come in our heads, and that sounds good, but then you're off to something
Plus-
else.
But plus, also when I look back on them, I know that I could have done better and that they weren't really good overall.
Well, maybe the thought was there, but the words
Yeah.
just didn't come, huh?
It
Yeah.
takes a lot of, I wasn't primed for this. I was never primed to write. And, I've always been told since I was young I don't have good writing skills from elementary to middle school to college, graduate school. So I said,
And still now you don't
I
really.
know how to write. I've been better. So I've been writing stuff that means something to me, but I just don't have at this time in my life that fantasy kind of skill. People do fantasies or people who do fiction. When I try to do it, it just doesn't. It's not my knack because everybody has their own talent.
If I wanted to, I could probably write a really good fiction book.
I bet you could, and it'd be awesome. And you know what? This is something you can do throughout your whole life if you wanted to do writing, or maybe you'd like to be like Mom and be on TV and have your own show, and you could talk about your books. I mean, there's so many different ways you can go with it. So I think it's really, really exciting what you guys are doing here. I think it's phenomenal. Now, illustration-wise, are you guys using a local illustrator?
No.
Really?
No, but a publisher has their own. A
Oh,
publishing
okay.
company, they have their own.
Okay. Now, who are you going through for publishing? Is it anyone we would know?
No, they're in Indiana. Pennant
Oh, okay.
Publications.
Okay.
They're a traditional one. The bigwig ones, you have to either be a celebrity or,
Yeah.
And, that's a lot of work.
Absolutely.
Plus, it's also a lot of money to get it published.
Yep.
Yep, and what you
Absolutely.
owe them if they pay you up front too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It
gotta
can be. It can be quite a racket. So yeah. No. It's just exciting. It's wonderful that that Woody inspired all this inside of you guys. And I know you've written prior to this also, but it's just really nice, and it's nice that you guys have it as a family activity, something you guys are doing together. You guys are bonding over this. You guys are going on a journey with Woody and yourselves, and being able to help people along the way is amazing. And especially as you're getting into people like seniors or people like special needs and things like that who can be very isolated, whether it's an autism, if it's cerebral palsy, some people who may have other be differently abled as far as having to use a wheelchair or what have you, where they're not able to go out and experience it, and you guys are allowing through the written word to be able to do that. So that's pretty amazing. So I think we're running out of time. So I want to thank Woody and EJ and Robin for coming and hanging out with us today. And we'll see you next time.